Welcome back to the second part of the vlog. Like I said, there was a few more hands to go over, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so it's later in the session. We end up being six-handed this time. I'm in the hijack with ace queen off. It folds down to me, so I raise it to 10. The cutoff calls and the big blind calls. So we're three ways to a flop of 5-9 queen with 2 spades. Checks to me. I go ahead and c-bet to 18, and then only the cutoff calls. So we're heads up to a turn, which is a 4 of clubs. I'll go ahead and bet enough to put them all in. He only has 23 behind. He just calls. So we're heads up to a river, which is a 6 of clubs. And I'm showing ace queen, and he ends up showing king queen offsuit. So just to get a little start to kind of get back up to even. Alright, so it's later in the session. We end up being 9-handed this time. I'm on the button with ace jack off. There's 2 limps in front of me. I go ahead and raise to 15. The small blind has other ideas. He ends up 3-betting 240. Folds to me, and being in position against this type of player who's very loose and at this time he's playing very aggressively, I'll go ahead and try and see if I can't just call and realize my equity a little bit, try and maybe hit an ace and lay a trap for him. So that's what I do. I go ahead and just call, and we're heads up to a flop of 8 ace 8 rainbow. Kind of without hesitation, he goes ahead and shoves. He asked real quick if I had the ace. I told him yes. So we're off to see 2 cards. The turn is an 8 of diamonds, and the river is another ace. I didn't want to make him show, so I'll go ahead and flip over my hand, and we're good. Okay, so it's a few orbits later. There's 2 limps in front of me. I am in the cutoff with 9-10 suited. I'll go ahead and raise to 15. The small blind calls, and both limpers call. So we're 4 ways to a flop of 5 jack 3 with 2 spades. It checks to the hijack. We end up bidding 15, and only I call. So we're heads up to a turn, which is a 4 of spades. She ends up checking to me, and I haven't hit the flush like we wanted to. I'm gonna go ahead and bet 35, trying to charge those 1 card hands a little bit. I'm thinking maybe I should have charged a little bit more because she ends up calling pretty quickly. So we're still heads up to a river, which is the queen of spades. She automatically kind of snap shoves for 36. Getting a great price to call. It's one of those things where I already know I'm beat, but I end up just reluctantly calling. And sure enough, she has the ace of spades for a river 4 card flush. Next hand of note is a few hands later. I'm in the low jack with ace 9 offsuit. It's a little loose, but I go ahead and raise to 10, and only the big blind calls. So we're heads up to a flop of ace king 9 with 2 diamonds. Ends up checking to me. I go ahead and c-bet to 20. Having flopped 2 pair, I really don't see this particular opponent flattening ace king. Having played against him, he would have 3-bet this. He would have 3-bet s king. So I feel safe to c-bet to 20, and he ends up making the call. So we're heads up to a turn, which is a 7 of spades. Checks to me. I still continue my aggressions, thinking I still have the best hand. So I end up betting 55, and he ends up making the call. So heads up to a river, which is an offsuit 9. Having bolted up, he checks to me, having him call flop and turn bet, thinking he has some sort of ace. And I kind of go big here. I end up betting 100. He tanks for just a little bit and ends up making the call. We show that we have a boat, and it's good. Shout out to Omar, who is actually a subscriber and watcher of the vlog. He was kind enough to show me his hand, which is an ace 10 suited. So we're dominating pre-flop, and we just got lucky on him. Shout out to you, Omar. Alright, so kind of taking a little mid-session update. We bought back in for another 200, so we in for 4, and right now we're at even, if not like down $10, something like that. But
Yeah, kind of been up and down session. Yeah, so that last hand with 9-10 spades, just for some reason I knew she had it, but I called. I've been doing that lately. I don't know what's going on with me. I've been doing that lately with hands. Like I know that they have it, and for some reason I end up calling, and that's the thing. I need to get better at just going with my gut and folding, but it is what it is. Trying to relax and calm down after that one bad beat with 9 deuce, and I know it took a little bit for me to calm down, but you know, I'm doing all right. But anyways, gotta take a little breather and walk around and go back in and see if we can run it up. Let's go.
All right, next hand of notes kind of goes over example of that I need to start playing a little bit more discipline and probably won't be stuck as much. But anyways, as played, there's a button straddle for 5. Under the gun races to 20. Folds around to me in the small blind with king 10 off. Should be a fold, especially with under the gun range. I'm dominating all sorts of ways, but my stubborn butt ends up making the call, and the straddler ends up making a call. So we are 3 ways to a flop of 4 queen jack with 2 hearts. I check, under the gun C bets to 25. The button ends up snap raising to 80. I tank for a little bit and call. Once again, should be a fold. Don't do as I do, guys. Trust your instinct and fold. But I end up making the call for 80. And under the gun ends up shoving for 250. The button ends up snap calling again. So I end up tanking for a little bit and end up making a fold. I have an open-ended straight draw, but that's all I have. I don't. If there's a heart coming out there, I know I'm beat. I could be beaten by a set. You know, there's just too many possibilities that are not going to be a good outcome for me. So I should have saved $80. Actually, I should have saved what, 100 bucks. But my stubborn butt was trying to ride on that last high of the ace 9, and should have saved 100 bucks. But anyways, I end up folding. I end up making the fold. So their heads up to a turn, which is a 5 of clubs, and the river is a deuce of hearts. The button ends up showing ace queen offsuit for a top pair, and under the gun ends up showing pocket kings. So one of those things where I knew we were dominating and I should have made the fold. I need to make my ranges a little bit more tighter and be disciplined. Okay, so the last time we're gonna go over of the night is a interesting one to say. I end up limping for a 5 with in the cutoff with ace 5 of hearts. Should be raised, but I just go ahead and limp. Both the blinds end up limping as well. Actions back on under the gun. He ends up raising to 35. I go ahead and make the call, and the blinds end up folding. So we heads up to a flop of ace 8 with 2 diamonds. Under gun checks. I go ahead and check back. Having top pair but a low kicker, I'll go ahead and check it. So we're heads up to a turn, which is a queen of clubs. Under gun bets 20. Once again having top pair, I'm not gonna fold for 20. Basically, that's it. He could be bluffing with a few hands. This player is very good, in my opinion. Like one of the better players that I played against here so far. So I end up making a call. So we're heads up to a river, which is a king of clubs. Undergun bets out for 115. So I start to tank. This guy is a very good player. He's capable of making big bluffs and big moves. He's not afraid to put the money in and forcing you into some difficult spots like this one. I go ahead and tank, and
last night I played with my we play once a month.
I call.
It's a cool game because
I'll go ahead and make the call. I'm flipping over my hand, and he ends up mucking pretty quickly. Now the video is not going to show this. Stop recording prematurely, but basically he didn't hear me. He said that he didn't. He folded his hand, but he thought I folded. He ended up not hearing me, even though I said call and the dealer said call. He ended up mucking his hand pretty quickly. He said that he didn't hear me, that he would have had the winning hand. He ended up braving a straight with Jack. He ended up having Jack 10 suited. He's a real straight guy. one of the better poker players I've played against. So him having said that, I don't know. I guess the question is, if that happened to y'all, where you would, somebody made a mistakenly fold or something like that, and the guy, he wouldn't really lie to you or anything, do you give him some back, or go ahead and keep the money and say tough luck or anything like that? But it's just one of those things. It's like I don't want a controversy or anything like that between me and him. Like I said, he's a great guy and a great poker player, and I really do respect him. So leave a comment below and tell me, what would y'all do? What would y'all have done in that instance? No, it's not bad.
There you go, much better. All right, so that's it for me. In the game for 400, out for 570, something like that. So at least made $170 profit, but it was a grind today. I've been here for a while. I don't even know how many hours. I need to calculate those things. It keeps fogging up. That does it for me. It's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm done. I'm tired. I've been here all damn day. So if you like the videos, leave a like, drop a comment, and I'll get back to you. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you later.